Miyama Ghana fo nyina kwaba na yenhye kasebo no ase. Yenhye kasebo no ase ayebo ade awuram ewo wo my Ghana yenko to them. Na mene wo kasai asem kase ba ko a bese na watwe mienu ne de eda Ghana fo nyina no elselef shine. Eye Godfrey de Boatame dame Attorney General. A wono wosa ye Minister for Justice. Wono mo echirem se enkitahudie bi a esumase. One the third accused eye wopani Richard Jakpa o makwakodi asesei ndi samanyuko no edisa audio na beto montrenso no ehon semakwakwa e bebre pa na ebiru mu kirem se wopani Godfrey de Boadame wo yobi a wono ana ejina wo man no anamu na wodi obi ejina mu ewo court nti aba ne san ana eye prosecutor wutimi efa esumase ekofre eye obi a yabo no kwadu na wone no ekodi esusu ho se na be ya eniema betima sesa na mpono atembo no yesi ne trase na sansam no eba ye no Ghana for etwe na bo so pa kire sanya asam ketua eno enam so emakane eye wotemuafo pani eye Chief Justice eye Sofia Ekufu wababontia bekasa kirem se wokọ emremu a ye fre bibi eye plea bargaining ene se ebia ye de kwadu ebo obi a enipa no emra ne man kwan ese wobetimi ene se bio kwadu bofo no edi ho nkomo na se ebia atemwo no se eye atemwo no na se bia ye kwadu makomako enso a yetimeka se ebia ye yi kwadu no mienu afirimu anampokura no se atemwo no ebeba no se asotwe no so a yetimi ade yensato yensayem ekekeka bia se de beya eniema no emu ebetimi ago wotirem se empo enya Ghana nkoa anasa eye plea bargain no etimi koso wotirem a se ye ka plea bargain no a brofoka se kan se negotiation of plea na brofoka se mamenkan kakra was a negotiation of plea and I said plea bargain no was it is an agreement in criminal court proceedings whereby a prosecutor provides a concession to a defendant in exchange for a plea of guilt. Enti Sammy Okogyeabour Ocran court na se bia asemi no a ekoso no se eye kwadu mako enan ane ye pese de bomi a mitimi ene kwadu bofo anase mitimi ene aloyafo di nkomo ema ebia atemwo de etimi ka se o asotwe ne yedi mienu achewo na emo mienu no nso no sei ane ho asotwe no esi etie wasan so kiremu a etimi kura nso koba se ebia asotwe na yede mamie no senka eye mienu na se ebia baako emu ode a yetimi ka se baako na emu ode no yemfa eno enche na ebia baako no asebio ho asotwe enhyeda enye kase no yema eno no enhyeda enye bebre kakra se ne be ya ebetimi akosi anamu na no ana ye ma mesofo yakufu ekirem se eno nkitahudie anakoso ewo ye Attorney General Godfrey de Boadame ana afenso no opene Richard Akwantamu a eno no enye enfomso wokiremu a wohwe enkofo amanso no so asade akura na timi ekoso emposi wakum nipa kura no ayade se emra no etima akwan ema eye plea bargain no enso etimi ekoso na ne nyina no ene se nipa bi so se wohwe enkitahudie ni sumase nkomo no a na Attorney General Godfrey de Boadame was opeso ofa kwani asa nyina so na wane wopane Richard Akpa edi nkita ho na nka atemwo no yedane ani se de beya nka wono betime nya nyina so se Attorney General na nka watime edi oniminafo eye Dr. Kessel atofo sen wade ne kogina mu ewo afiase na no ananam so ma MD Samanyuko no eye ensamtrefo nhyem a me no kasai ho nsam de ayedeja no eno anaye maame akufu ekirem se akwaji se nipa bi enhyeda enti plea bargain na se na emremu no emakwan emasa nkitahudie no so etimi ekoso wabra wakasa na busua
Beginning is prosecution can seek to plea bargain in every criminal case unless there is a law setting boundaries as to what cannot be plea bargained. Sometimes in countries where they've been practicing plea bargaining for a very long time, even in murder cases, they can plea bargain it downward to something else because most crimes are also something else. So I don't know the scope and content of whatever discussions have been going on, but sometimes yes, you plea bargain a co-defendant and make that co-defendant your prosecution witness, in exchange for which you then he pleads guilty to a lesser charge. It's not novel. Maybe it may seem novel.
Enti ebusuani ayeti yei ayo oba pani akane na wo my Ghana otemuafo pani eye former Chief Justice Yema me Sofia Ekufu na wo chirem se plea bargain no ayade se Ghana mara emakwan enu ntimu a monte ase no emu nsam eno no
yetoa DL kase boso ane egusua ejiramu ewo mramu na ensamtwe ne onu kure yai osan ye emranim ni eya da kabra fempo manson wakasa ejiremu a ensema hodo wa ne mo man Ghana montin so ebe fa bia ne ye ka ho nsem ejiremu a ye audio tape aba bontin a Ghana fo nyina keke bi efa eye attorney general Godfrey yebo adame ehon na afin so ye third accused person eye Richard Dapa ensem ekoso wa man Ghana mu no o kiremu a ensem we no aye dodo Ghana fo ka nsem ne pa na so watrase ahwa trisenka Godfrey yebo adame attorney general papa beba bontia beka na nka Ghana fo nyina hunu so odi aduro no papa no nsema ye ka no se ye no kure se nya no kure no ka so beka bi na Ghana fo nyina nya omugidi na so watwen papa pim sam pempenso ye kesei Godfrey yebo adame ma bonti meka saye ena adabaka brafre pa manson e kase na wakire mu sei ensema hodo e koso no nyame anem ne kure ni enya de pa kure free sei o mana ye temo no enya manyosem bi ene ye de eye attorney general office no e de ye ne sente no ene manim no ese no wankasa ba bonten no bekasa e de ma no efiri say MPP amanyoko na ba bonten aba ba ya press conference kiremu a papa ya de ne ho bon sansensem no efiri say tape no pa ba bonten no na yes mama akoma Kwadwo nu nsia ene ho sensem na o chim se dabi we nya manyosem ene yes ye de ye ne sente no o pani ane de Godfrey yebo adame no ono wankasa na bonten no mekasa na Ghana fo nyina hunu bi se ensem a eye opani ane de eye japa eka no se ye no kure se nya no kure no ono ankasa meyi ne ho ano ena waka akasa na osa kire mu sei wo hwe nsema wodo ekoso e wosisira dapa ena afri so edemlebo ensensem ne mu na papa yi kasa ye be fa bia na dana no a oka wo hwe ne sesabe twa apia wo man Ghana mu nanso ensem wo ye esie yi papa ya ye din ode ne nsade agu na kire sene ye onka wo hwe o kire mu asase ya na be ko na de ne so man Ghana no be bia ne na nam no efe ya temu mu no nya de ne makoyi ne sente no toto sere na da se be bia wanyina dui na dwuma ye de ahya ne nsa no na mote be kasa na Ghana fo nyina hunu sensema wodo ekoso no se ne krum anase no kure anymore.
They do one my mumwa wamati. Prophet Dami is such a decent man. He is a great lawyer. Adia akoswono. Prophet Dami enyino huano, amufa politics and wano. Let the attorney general respond to a semi down mono. Adi, at that jurisdiction come from who knew 1 second. Witness in the say, who in the year, who channel the 1 year, forget about NDC for Neka. Witness in the Neka. Let the attorney general. Oh yes, Samanano. Naja who said, a yen munyamwa a woman dispensation of justice for Ghana. Have you listened to the judge? We must have comments how it impacts on the judge. Political person, Sammy Jamfi, or cancer, so to me, witness, God no better afraid judge who could see a judge no response for the body. Institutions of the state and Ghana, Ghana, and such a political person be Gusa institutions, the free be integrity. Sandy, the free be integrity. Okay? Moment go for Dami, you know, Nani Munyambi and Katano. So, Mamma Montrata, for political, you a doctor, only no one, how many witnesses, how many accused persons, and the general court, you know, Kata Wachile, with some politics and lawyer, no, capable to make me, you know,
Enuachi another cabra from Paul Mason essentially muse anyone pass up him some pensue Godfrey yebo adame entimi nkasa na namona ono watrase ye din na MPP amanyokoi aye hinted we kire di papa ya hye nachi na o mankasa kasa man no onim sunsun so a ebetimi di abro manye free say o man Ghana integrity na ba koto esemo na afenzo papa yi obetutu kwan akwa amanone na maame hodo bebre so a yenim se o man Ghana mu no wo obi a we attorney general wo gina wona so bu adwumade am o man se koba ni say ya gidie be pa na maame hodo aka no ebetimenya wo mam ni senti enmanim no anamo watu ne nye omra bonten no mekasa na Ghana efo nyina hu ne say ensema no kura wom anase no kura ni mu
Okobusa law school for no Confedami Yabua, one of the brightest. This is a BBC, not for that on integrity. Money in one, then anyone Yaman Traffic, Obeko International Fora, Obeko International meetings. Do you know the impact on Ghana that any general, on the day I woke up, who to me catch and say, oh, want me and Kwankwaji, excuse duty note, and Famra, consider judge not judge, or when Nimunyambia also protecting. For politics, no, and say, be our Ghana, not yet be a brother far. One yin kum say, George, let's say, as someone see, no share the more dance here, no share Ghana Brown, would be for that on one yin to one. My young woman be Emma will be 50. enkasa entia judges for no asamba na any political undertone bia na monhwe se the judge for no bu asem no asamba na any political undertone bia monhwe se the judge for no bu asem no politicians here da blow politicians da blow afiri wa bia ko woni mu bia no be ka bi the judge no asem wa da court ye ni wiye of grave importance na asem se de pia wona be hia no matani general no ogosia na kopedien na osia na pedien no ne ye course apedien that's the bia ni be jam mama mu de politics be kata no maso say institutions of the state ebugu ye nyina ye so nyi ni se ono ne yire ene ne ma ene ne namfofo no omo ye happy otherwise such a fine gentleman na some see about am ga the policy be kata so onyi no ho ano ne nimu nyam no onyi ntrase onyi no ho ano ne nimu nyam no onyi mpantrase enye musumu ni da bia
eni awoti ye ensam training onu kura ye esan ye mranim ni adakabre eye frempom maso ne na wote ye no na ensam wo ya ho no ena opani a ono so ne din ade adambana ono no oye security analyst papa nso akasa chire mu a anamawa eye attorney general gofere ye bo adame otu ye hyehyɛ ahodo bi so obo no homaden no akwakofa eye court judge eye Yoli Kolende e dia beka dwumadi ahodo ne hyehyɛ ahodo no mo ye ho no e ba sa be ye complete ambush e dia ma eye judicial system no sente no sa na mo na papa ni tuo no so nya de e beboa nto mo moden sei sa na mo na otuo no obetwe ne ho e dia firi mu.
I have seen something very scandalous that seems to be suggesting that the AG was ambushed. I mean, how was the AG ambushed? AG was not ambushed. If anybody at all was ambushed, then it is my brother Yoli Kolende. Because I will tell you, we have the device. You know, some people went to prison for a certain, device, intelligence device that was procured through, you remember that incident? Yeah. We have those devices, and there are many devices that you can use to track movement of people, use to track calls and call records and all that. If the national security would want to be truthful, they should check whether the morning before that meeting in my brother's home, Yoli Kolende's home, whether AG spoke to Richard. I mean, they should check. I'm daring them to check and give us the records. I'm sure they are listening. They should check whether he spoke to him. So you see, he spoke to Richard. He ended up at my brother's home, and Yoni didn't know this conversation, whatever was going on amongst them. So he ends up at my brother Yoni's home, and like me, when I'm going there, I mean, I won't tell you where he lives. And so AG ends up there. Obviously, you know, arranging a certain, wanting to see the Supreme Court judge, even what we have heard. You get there. Then I think 10 minutes later, Richard arrives. Richard arrived unannounced, but it is rather Richard meeting AG in his big brother's home. So when you hear ambush, it's as if somebody doesn't understand what ambush is. And so
any awoti ye security analyst Adam Bona and I desire watch them say Attorney General Kwan Namso no or the man Ghana ya mamra ene ye mra no eto esemo and so what is the muchiremo esom ye no
yento awia pem to breka se bono eso ye de free DLFM 106.9 eso a awia ensamo a ye de enam ne nyina no wo hwese de ye Facebook no ye nya yanke de message ni beto dwa no a ene as network no ye network providers no akwadwira dwuma anomde ma yenti amachire se nansan network no aye bisi basa titiri ni anopai enu nti so message no entimi ma me enkan ma wo a fa chen ye pa afre se Ghana ha ye telecommunication networks ne de wonu mo nyina wo monyo ye nto akase bono so na ye nko yanim ye ko yanim a electric commission ebie nkrata mu ato ho se mo a mo pese afedada no ba bia moto aba mo sesa no na mokoto no ba bi fofo e kan se vote transfer no saa hyehyɛ ne nyina no empanfo bi e de ato ho na me ne wokasese opiem ewo Okran Kwe Central ewo Enquires pumpure mantam a menteme ho ase a asode ewo Okran Kwe Central no enya asam ketwa ne nyina no ene se NDC amanyoko ne kirem se emfitiansia no anamo a wonom ene kire se electoral commission etuye ene aginesi a wo musi ye se edi ntro no ye betro no wala pass nanso awi akire ya sesa venue no e de akwakopiem ewo achimota eno enam so masabre wo mo a epese wo mo ekwo transfer wo mo de no wonom ebre na na kire se ntiase antimi amemu a ne nyina mu no enka akwa menteme ho ase a eno aposifo eba ho no wonom efre reinforcement ansa na aposifo ndodo no a etimi abaso na sabre no a menteme ho ase ne koso no na yensem droni opoku active Emmanuel ye fa ni DJ active na woginem ewo ho no a de akwa so nyina so wode ebra yan ne nyina no ene sa NDC fo ne kiremu a asa electoral commission no epesu otu anamo bi a se bio wo da ne wo mo NDC fo na kwawensafo etwa fufuo de afo wo mo ko chiewura wo mo num eno so no mo so kire se wo mo ntiase ne entiase china na wobra yenua be ma opoku active Emmanuel DJ active wo ne NDC fo ni bi edi enkomo no wo ha hodo a wo mo de to dwa no mo yentie kakra.
We are major stakeholders in the election process. We come and say until you cannot take very, very important decisions. We know abra yen susu hu in the home come. About the saying that the day before transfers in Besha 8 p.m. After na we communicate catch and say about the saying in come ben a course. We need now but very important things. And a location initially omutusuma in any location not eligible. Yeah, yes, say last registration transfer here last year. We are in the district office. And then as I and then say some so constitution e watch water so I say and then yeah there shall say na process ni na isi the car say e be district office no as a party NDC no na there you do now. So at the end of the day we had to abide by it and we went there that was so alcohol no for 21 days and then insisaya e be mu obi anda wan dwene say e say afraid the stakeholders of the elections affairs in the country say we need be the susu e come I say ni na betima come. This is wrong entwe yi nti no more the share say no more propose a new avenue within the constituency by law and then no are convenient among no more law na catch and say oh he has to be within the constituency, which is fine. But last year now yeah registration here transfer no I know the no district office it's about saying and then assessor and then no catch say we should come within the constituency. So what I say nti we ni na no yeah did say enya dey etwe and there are suspicions on the understanding already yeah opponent here no confo a wa ba so mo ade o ma ba constituency your pictures and videos say no mbe share dey.
Enti se mutie ene no a we no ye NDC fo na wa mu kirem se Enquires electoral commission afa so na oyi venue no e de afiri ba bia wo mu nyira nim no e de akọ achimota no wonte ase na yenkwa homa so na yensem troni opoku active Emmanuel DJ active waba homa no so yene no eni ho nkomo akura apom tesen
ni abe ma woko
ye de nyame ase me no kasa hefa anasa nkomo yi akwakodru na he na wogina
sisi a ma be pie mu ewo achimota eye EC office na sisi a yegutu na se mo kan ya na anopa no na nsɛmtwerɛfoɔ yenya info ni sɛ misunderstanding ɛne bibi ɛkɔso ɛwɔ La Paz ɛyɛ document station na chipa so de sɛ na new life chapel na yɛkopie mu yɛkobi wɔ na kyɛ sɛ ɛyɛ isi mpanyinfoɔ ɛna de ɔmo mfidie abɛduru hɔ no mo kyerɛ mu sɛ samre exercise ɛyɛ kɔso ayɛ kyɛ sɛ wopɛ sɛ wo transfer o vote efiri baabi a wɔto aba na ebi a wɔde ba baabi foforɔ a betimi aye ne gusu a ekoso na Ocran Central de no omo de aba be saa asafo no ma ye new life chapel no eno na NDC ekuo ne HSA omo go enyo so kra say omo betimi aba be registration and as transfer no ewo asafo on nti edimenti no ho ase ba ma aye NDC youth no eye de ama police for e de prima ni na mo no reinforcement e mo ba ni UC for betena se sinkonya ekasa ya nso amfa enu no mde ko pie mu ewo apenkwa eye president school so mkoye ewo ekodu ho no nso a achechefo HSA ebe ha school mofra na pa nti omo makwan emma yisifo emeye exercise no ewo eye apenkwa president nti free ho no na ya be pie mu ewo EC officer eno ewo achimota sesia zambre ameka se EC mpanyinfo egusu a omo eye meeting so omo betimi aye exercise no ewo han mo ba no mama asem enye chinchin no NDC communication bureau no ewo han ma obetimi ama a brief kakra ewo sa issue no ewo han nya be ma yemo kwa ba from DL 106.3 FM
ni wa me ba ya se ni asira ni chasunku be di ma obi ya
the intina and then maintain one say about exercise ekoso e Ocran Central.
Oh, problem maybe the electoral commission you can district way now say. Yeah, but the share registration now say on the 7th now no putting the stand of the NDC. Now you challenge say at least almost at the district electoral area level and at the constituency level. So they bear if you are to me I the registration, but almost can't the district office. Yeah, but at the year 21 days ever district office. Almost at the 2 days can and also I yet successful and then you are there and they almost say transfer and then the young from electoral area within the constituency transfer. I mean I somehow problem back on ever so. The OC card replacement, online ewo district officer so bi wo ho ni card ayira na saa nipa na opese o ye transfer a ewo say ombra district office ha na ombe ni card replacement owie ansa na wasna ba afaka e dey about Ulefa area ho na wa be ni replacement after government no so e ma obi a transportation bia enti say electoral commission e dey for owu the call has been put on sound na ya ba district officer na registration for 23 days I think say 14 days na aka na 16 days no you betumi abaye your transfer your proxy and your card replacement na at the district office and the challenge I had enough thing and say baby I issue and she no call you know or what the person to the abeti
Oba say easy amp no so some nye o han ma dem am be here
democratically you know to say the national anthem of the republic you need to resist from the process rule and you will continue to resist Senator or the DLFM electoral commission and electoral commission and the referee are equal elections way by say who say referee no work of will be just say ashe now only the demand na ya pay and say ahana ya started yan at part to move we are on the right path there we be ewa ya very Ibrahim was calling the
Nti ni ya be ma say what the another say seven na eno
but active
ni ya be ma me tonka
me pa chawo se na ye ne woni NDC fo na di nkomo no wo hia wo nchen a NPP fo ne be so wo ho ana na se na omo so ka
e be du na nya de say okay NPP fo ne be so e wa hanom
maye ne omo ni nkomo be se sima ba ko na ye omo so side of the story
okay the say be nya NPP fo ne bi e wa na NPP fo ne de omo kire say NPP fo no na e sa de no echi e ma omo de sa isi etimi ekopi mo on tele be ya kululu bi e be timi akoso e wa hanom enso ma peja omumu kakra omo tese omo community kitu everything jabo yugusu ya wa hanom se yenka e ka mo e no mu de din komo e wa
enti NPP fo na peja omunya sa na tie
Oma peja omu sisi na omo center omu nyina e tie ase police fo no e wa hanom ma boban age ban a tese omo tese omu nyina wura dan ba ko bi na omo kwakoye emergency meeting bi e wa NPP fo no de omu buha bebre
but senior NDC for na ba bonten abekire se wo mo de wo mo mpene so anamo a yisi no etuo no wo mo se wontime ne NPP for ne nkasa bet se wo hwe wo mo animu a wo mo di mi na no wo mo pene so with the new decision of the yisi na se wo mo so any NDC for nyina no ekọ bankro mo hwe wo mo facial expressions ne ade no a
anapa no yekoto wo mo new life chapel ho omo akona le san eni omumu we from new life every PM ewo apenkwa presby na omo de omo ye say omo ye di omo kan hwe ye omo kan say you should declare say aha ana ye registration exercise no omo so ye dey I take it part that omo de omo ye di because NDC for no e de sobo bo omo say omo MP ana sha say a ye fa ni isi no fa de no mususu say bi omo pese omo fa kwan bi so no omo fa so register amount for bi etimi edition
anapa no senior wo boy amane se tension ekosro ama ayem se aposifo no krampo afre reinforcement no mene wo kasa ya premo ato apemu yi security issues no te say calm aba anasa still ano jame
to say the mene wo kasa dey calm aba ama police for no omo ba abebre aso na nkasa obi timo achimota isi officer kra omo da so ha barrister sa omo di SCC ha no ade a omo tete ho ade so omo rema asumdia bandi family mene wo kasa dey anapa ne na ano eye hyepa ende asem kuma ye nsem trofo kra ye TV nya kakra ansana yetimi ye ho etimi ato bete ye anu no kasa dey emu adwo kakra ye pense yisi no any party executives will be a meeting na ye hu de be kwa afu
so as we speak no finally no meja wa mo akono say ye kasa dey assignment me ho ase ne de si ye ntino process no vote transfer ni ade ni nyina no bia ne ho no mo atimi akoso because final decision go take
almost suspend this until say final decision dey timi akoso
okay active ma yana say adwuma de wabo bi pa akoso agina mu wo ho na hwe ohunsu yie ma ye na de besie bia nso obetimi de mu nkyere mu na bra ya nwumre Kasia boss ya da ase anwumre anyway yo ebusuya yensem troni opoku active Emmanuel your friend DJ active ana de ekoso ewo Ocran Nhyiraba Central enso emu nsam I don't know Kwadwo unim say Ghana democracy no aye practice no ho ya wo mrada ho enuntina the law of democracy no was say what concerns all must be discussed by all sadia no efa ye nyina ho de a ye nyina ye nkamom ne yensi gina ye so per the report wa yensem troni de amaye any the allegations leveled by the NDC no say sanity I think say it's been unfair on the part of the Electoral Commission.
Se o hwe se de o ka ne nsem no fa ne de na omunya ne etena ase yesi gina ye do enti ne hu behia se omunyina asan be san ye ba ko benefo se be be chechira boa no
hwa ne
esana no enti no ese se o moto o ho ase ne ba bia o mede beto aye beto ye ne ye no na hia yen wahuno ye we se no man emwa yen
dabi
aye de ane se bibia be ko bankrum na omunyina beto o ho ase se o anamo we na ye tu ye ne de kwaku wiesi na obi atene ho ase se be ye akire ne nkofa menteme wase bia ma ebe no bo setimamuni bia ono no nka bi nhyimu no na so turasu na so ma apa nani so apa na manches na de obenya bibia de ne kura na hwe anka no
because obi badwe say o Ocran Nhyiraba Central ana ekoso ntime de me no metibubu ahye mfa me ho metekwa benya mfa me ho you see yes say injustice somewhere is a threat to justice everywhere enti de ekoso obi amfa na ntumbi na se esese easy office no mo yes process na omunya ne wo ho na emom no all of a sudden any impromptu say mo change venue no a you see this are political dispensation no will be adness abetretri isu say enipa no one aban na ekoba ntene ne ebu ho no mo a memo na ho no mo a munsu mo hu ne ye o Kristo emehwe nyina Kwadwo praise
hallelujah
to aso
ya to akasebo no so ne ye body awuramu e was what for ohwe ministry for agriculture oswo for ohwe
draw
wa
ahwe ase de ohwe asa o
wa
wode Brian Champon to me ekwa koma ha wa kofi Baby, Kofi, what after we talk in Libya?
Kofi kura bechi bia tubu kura.
What after we talk in Libya?
Bechi menya numbi. Yeah, so me akase about so Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture Development. Penia oda no, Mavis how commission. Mami akasa chiremba ni mani watena sa encheye. Any one mama ka bi rom nyina mechire stakeholders no atena sa encheye. Awu kwan fo do mbefa so no my Ghana epoada ha jazanie. Yakokwa yimu nam ne boa ma afarofo tumi nya sikadigo mbotomo no. Omba batuma niama atimi akwaye efrise. Ene betimi aboa ema nam ketenkete omo opuma. Afalefo ekwa poso omkoyi wano mu nyina ba wi ajase ebedu baabi no. Yakwapo ye nya nam no eso atimi ate. Na mami kasa na ochem se yakase no maden akopie wo sekani takwade ne potem. Eno omom ka bi ewom enyina omsabe afarofo omkokoyi nam waposo no. Omno wamadi nkitam omo nyina gya atum so ne hye ahodo obekoso no. Ebeboa pa ne sent penifo ntena so mo hye na yie entimi entoye nanumu ena mevisa wa commission ekasa na ochem se yakase yi afi we mu no mba betupum ewa yankopɔ ye adoma ekita wonsa bosumedi woni mechire July 1st ekopema ye July 31st no mba betupum ne senti wo yo fale ne awo eposo na akokoyi na mabomoden se efri sampempeso no ko no won kwapum enkoyi na mefri se wonnim na otu anamon na mpelifo chewa wanhwe ana waso aye hyepa ne senti no yamo ye homoden se hyehyɛ ahodo aba abontere no won betimi adisuma ne ama atimi akoyi pa okasa na osa kire mu hyehyɛ ahodo bi efa ho no waboden eje nkyerɛkyerɛ ahodo e de ma falefo ne nyina so mo nka no mnuanom a wona monte ne NTB sebe betimi abo na sampempenso yi efri eyekita wonsa bosome de edika no ekopema duasa ba kono wonim se wo yo fale ni na kwaposo koyi ni maboden se wonkonkombo wura epono so enkokoyi na mafri se sampempenso no mo de ama se enema ahodo a eyanketenkete am wapomu no omunyini se kodu pempenso be bie ponato mu no na pempenso no koje abo kopie mo kepko so a ono so anya mane ya bebo ne fufuo se be beboa na nema etimi akoyi de amaye emla eye hawa Mavis Kumsin okasa no emu nkyeremu ni.
I wish to inform you that stakeholders agree that the implementation of closed season has been beneficial to consolidate the gains made. It was also agreed that the closed season be observed in 2024 through the collaborative efforts of governments of Ghana represented by the ministry, the Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, and the government of Norway. The Norwegian research vessel Dr. Freedom Nancy is planning to undertake fisheries resources survey in Ghana waters in 2024.
Any awuti ye oyo swafo no eno hwe my Ghana Media Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture Development so ne den Eddie Mavis Hawa Kumsin ene na wote ye no
yento akasiabo no so na ye momfenwura mu ewo ensam afoforo mu a na yebo ediawura mu ewo woswafo a wo hwe enuane ani mfudie so eye Minister for Food and Agriculture ne den Ede Brian Champon wono ana wo ye emrahye bedwane ewo abetifi ewo epoye mantemo na besa na watwi mienu miensa eba ne die papa yi jai wakwesa bibenyom se de mrewane nkwada ehoro no no enya asam ketwa ne nyina no ene se Ghana fo kiremu a papa yi atimi atabiri sika ama wa my Ghana ye hotels akese besa enan a kire se senate fo ane de hye wo monsa no senate fo atima hwedankopon anim ede wo matiko a kire bonsam anim aton ne nyina wa hamu tichemu aduosia 60% edi ama wapani Brian Champon awono ana Rock City Hotel eyene dia na nsemi ba ye no Ghana fo atwene sa pra wanam ene ebinum atete ne pa manam so eye North Town mra hye bedwani ne di ede Samuel Okogyeabour Ablakwa watintim nkrata ede akwakoma eye petition on human right and administrative justice eye sraje se wonu mu ehwem efiri se edwadie no a Brian Champon ene senate akwakodie no sebio ebon kra che wo pa amamone enu nti won tia se ne entia se china sada nso ana meno kasai watro petition tentente biem ede kwakoma mampani akufu ado se anamonu a wapani Brian Champon ene senate atu ni die ye wo monyo enyenyenyenyenyenyenyenyenyenye tese man never is enipa nsehwe e wasase so na Brian Champon ekiremu a wono no eda empanfo ye beden ana wo bedi an wo wini na ja wakwakoto nti no he chatimnye din se wokonfo kwa adanum na no ana wopani a ne din ede Okogyeabour Ablakwa ekiremu se nyamenya adomo a bosom ya ye ba besimi eye June no ne de toso edun watwe ene demonstration kakraka bi ebesi brada wode behihye so atia Brian Champon ana afenso no eye senate pa firi se esuma se dwade a wo modie na bon kankankan na Brian Champon edwade a okodi yi ana Okogyeabour Ablakwa ekiremu SM saa eye demonstration no ebehyesie 18th of June na won behyesie ewo Labadi Beach Hotel na wo mo bomu akwakofa eye Lapam Royal Beach wona mo abakopiem ewo Jubilee House na afei wo mo ade petition akwakoma wo bema boada commander in chief of the Ghana Armed Forces Mampani Akufo Addo se wono nso emfana no ntum na edwadie no asenete ene Brian Champon akwakodie no yemfa ba nhwim na enji obia ensam opani eye Okogyeabour Ablakwa ekiremu a wobesra posifo se modie munimye eno ntiri we no so wode abamonim se monhwe na aposifo dwumadi be sese mudie ema demonstration timekoso no monya ne kama eno nti Okogyeabour Ablakwa wakasa no emunsem nie.
I want us to scale up the public agitation, ratchet up the pressure, and get all of these public officials who are clearly not acting in our interests. They should listen to the outrage, the public anger, and stop what they are doing. But they are refusing to. So, in compliance with the Public Order Act at 491, I have notified the police that on the 18th of June 2024 at 9 a.m., we shall be leading a public manifestation, a demonstration against this sale. We intend to begin, I've given them the route. We intend to start in front of the Labadi Beach Hotel, proceed through Lapam Royal Beach Hotel, through the ministries, and then end at the Jubilee House, where we intend to present a petition to His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Because these are all his appointees, all of those who are acting, the people selling as net, his cabinet minister who is keen on buying, they are all his appointees. And he told us that if people want to come into his government to do business and to make money, they should know that his government is not the place for them. They should go to the private sector, stay there and make money. They shouldn't come to the public sector and use public office for personal gain to do business. So I'm wondering what's going on and why it's been more than a week. The TUC has spoken. The coalition of civil society organizations against corruption have spoken. They held a press conference asking the president to directly intervene, to step in. We have heard Professor Yanka, we've heard Dr. Jimandua and many others, from clergy, academia, experts, procurement experts, analysts, many people, young people, the workers who are at the risk of losing their jobs in these hotels. And yet the president refuses to speak and these people are going ahead. So that is the next phase.
Enti eni ayeti yeyi eye mrashe bedwani a wote abanwa so ewo Northtown yera Samuel Okogyeabour ablakwa ana wakasa yen na eno achi ana twetwerefo pani ede ema wa my Ghana adwadefo nkabom kubatan metre eye trade union congress eye wopani ya oba wode atudwa na wotirem se wo mo ene eye senate for ewo meeting na se senate for eye wo madwene se sa meeting no wo mo mpene ema TUC for Asia wo mo a ene ebe se kusibon a wo pemre wuramu asomdwe senate for nya bida na wo mbetata senate for ama ebe tsese bio abebe ene kutipomponi agise ba ku hia ba ko a wadanani.
They should not worry. The leaders are engaging all the important stakeholders in this. First, we want to make sure SNET is sustainable so that everybody who is contributing to SNET, say at the age of 20, in the next 40 years that they will retire, SNET will be able to pay their pension. Every worker should have the confidence that we are engaging those who are in charge of SNET, and we will make sure SNET is sustainable and there will be no time that you retire and SNET cannot pay.
Eni ayati ye ayatwetwe for pani edema trade union congress yera ya oba ana ode sansem we atu edwa na woko Facebook no eso a odoi edifrete ma ana say boys we are watching you live pa edifre ye prisi indomie joint ashama Lebanon wajika credit o wajika credit boys eni ay indomie ne fok oh wodi wom sia ena prisi indomie okay mo Anna was say Artofonsen cannot escape this mess. He must face the law. So law no dey face it. Was say NDC should stop disturbing the court process. Ayo. Anna Kofi Parliament was say wafa one same Musa Same atiare. Nanso may the Almighty God ja continue to bless you all. Was say I am watching you live from Aguna Bobikuma. Anna Robert Gameli was wafa you day yes I do and was okay me too I did was I know myself very well but this time around when I examine myself dear I supposed to go to psychiatric hospital Kwadwo
Okon
hu ne Gameli
sakrachi we na nkasa no
was this one no ahwe ne hudia ono agi ne hutum se wo yade
se ewe nya ne kan yo
David
so no na aka na asem dia yefo aso
that's right
because on the messages ne ba na fia ha no se nye kofitela ne kan den pa
oh yeah
sometimes all the nsemi wo the ba na ye hwehwe additional ne kura ye hu ye be china ye hu ba bia efiri eni ba bia ne na nutrition ti so no atena ase realize hu ne say o ya de kakra dia
that's right
o momode ne ko hwe na promodim
that's right
e betimi aboa
na Charles Manten so dia ba ana wo se wakoi in fact your tree English mix is very outstanding. In fact you are the best. Kwadwo say ye no ye koye linguistics kakra ewo University of Bantama so hu
eno ka ho bi na ama anya sa impact no
yeah say wa nko Bantama de no o say was school of languages
yeah
I don't know what I want main to say call Bantama
de locally made.
That's right. Hey, could you the bro for in the move? I say I had no more fast for him to say or famous ye more fast. Was that a could do something about but that one now? Sane on Busau, and I'm so modern, but what we are seeing are affective brains. O se wo ahwe ase wo honhom ana apie hu na mani
isi ase maka kire se akatom ne bro na free kura de mapapa me ho kura
sa nti o sore ba
o ma sore dum pemprenso bi kura de ma sore wie kura minya sore wie a we de ba be hye me dabre
aya
oh so the okan so o yare kakra
I
DJ Gamele ba be hye
captain with no armband and was say a country called Ghana mpa. Good afternoon, Wafa. Major also. Anna justice so Africa so. And also take us a bon pa. Kwadwo yantwaso.
Ya twaka sebo so ane yebo ede awremu Dr. Mahmudu Bawumia ono eye Frankatwini ede ma MPP amanyu kono kreya na osanyo mampani abede chidi ma my Ghana wakasa ede akwakoto eye mpanimfo a wonom Eda Trade Union Congress e tweditia e kan say ye 2UC e kanifo anim so sesi Nyankopon ya adoma o my Ghana benwa e ba beto ho 2024 ba beto abai no wo momoden say campaign hodo a wo yero mo so beta na kire ma ye bia ma na free say enhyehyɛ pa ne ma ode agu akono baba o my Ghana na nkyekere atumi akɔ na nim no enya asɛm keto esisu no kroni sent omu nyina nta na kire mo mo ano Nyankopon ya adoma 2024 abato ade ye nim no omutumi ntoma na nkunimdie etimi enya ne dia ode nsɛm wo nyina atudwa emra ohia leaders a wonom Eda eye Trade Union Congress ano no ode nsɛm wo nyina atudwa endrada e won krapompure matemu Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ekasa na wo kire mu sɛ yesi ano ɛho akohia pa sɛ o man Ghana adwuma ye foro ma maden sɛ o marketua no ebetimi akɔso na sika dwete lajan etuma ba sha o man Ghana adwuma ye fo nyina boto na ne ma etimi akɔye na o muso abusia wonom ani etumi agye pa na okasa na wo kire mu sɛ de ebetimi abo na sanse hye we nyina etimi akɔso ne sɛ aban no obetimi ate eye aban no nipa dodo no mu di dwuma wo man mu na afi nso asoya hodo aban bebie no obetimi ate so nde oba ne ministers no ana asoya owo man Ghana mo bete so ma ne ma etimi akɔye pa de ma ban no betimi aboa ma man Ghana watumi anya sika puduo pa de aboa emadwuma ye fo sika etimi akɔso ne betimi aboa ne ma etimi akɔye pa emro kasa na osan ekirem sɛ ehu behia sɛ o man Ghana mpa yetim no eye solar panels na nkasa na Ghana yene ankasa betimi atrans na ye bia ne kɔba ne saa na ebetimi aboa manyuma hodo amdo mo hoto nyina nkane aso bedu baabi no na akɔdum na akɔfa ha bebe na de aba no ne ma betimi aboa manyuma hodo no etime gya ne naso brane enti wonya ne hia hodo Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia o kirem ode ba beboa na o man Ghana ne ma etimi akɔye na adwuma ye fo de o mboto mu de Nyankopon ya adom no ni pa de ne womboto be de pa emno kasa no emunchiremuni.
I also want to make sure that in terms of control of government expenditure, we have an independent fiscal responsibility council to make sure that government's expenditure does not exceed 105% of the previous year's tax revenue, so that we maintain a lot of discipline in that sector. The other thing that I want to introduce, as I said, is to move expenditure more, at least between 3 to 5% of GDP in government expenditure. I mean, 3% of GDP in government expenditure is about 30 billion Ghana. So it's very significant. But what I would think is that in the first 4 years, we should at least move 3% of expenditure from
Eni awoti ye eye Frankatwine edema MPP amanyoko no Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Yentu akasiebo no so ama ye free NPP amanyoko no mu a yemra NDC chiniye amanyoko no so emu na wapani a wono so wotu Franka ede ama NDC amanyoko no eye kane mampani John Dramani Mahama na ono so wade nsem bia kwato dwa wobra wone European Union Chamber of Commerce ekohia na wo mo edi enkomo na wabra kane mampani John Dramani Mahama esrem se jata wo kasa na wo kire mu ese sese wo hunu se enkrapompode mantemo aye congested aba peso enunti ama manta mahodo ne nyina no eba empuntuo no a ekofom kakra enunti wo kire mu a se nyame ya dom na se Ghana fo tie no na nensemu a wo kan 2024 aba ye kwakotuwe wo moto aba no edema NDC ema ono kane mampani John Dramani Mahama wo baba ye mampani a de wo be ya emi se eye Greater Accra no de ebekoso a aye the nation's capital na emu mo be se wo be yi eye state institutions ne bi e de free enkran na wode akọ manta mahodo ne bi na wo kirem se manta mahodo a anhwe ya wo mo sabetimi aka the new cities no eye eastern region ana afi nso no voter region wo kire se eye kurofofo a wo ba wo behwe ama eno nso no empuntuo ni enyuma kese no ebetimi akọ se ne be ya se obi epese wone aban edi nkita ho ewo atraya akese no a se nipa no wo munyina emma megu enkran wo kire mu a ele so hwe enkran population no a enye wo bia na se bie wote enkran ha wo bi ohon mu a wote asenkragwa wote forifori wo firi bosomefre ho na eba aya wone ebia wone minister bi ba bedi nkomo na chenchi na gese wa bankran eba ne sa no a ema san krofo ne bre papa enti nyame ya dom na so ba ehye ba kwa wode ba ne nyina no ene se wo behwe na afi no cities no nso no ebi ewo eastern ebi nso wo voter na wayiyi aban enyuma kese ne bi ene yese ministries ne mpo a ye beyi ministries ne bi na ye de ko eastern region anase bia eye state institution bi ti se eye chief executive officers di brani ade ne nyina no nso no ye de bi ebe ho se voter region na pressure no a ewon kran no etimi akofom wo de sanse mo nyina tudana wo kirem se wo besre Ghana fo kokromoti se ye pressure na ewon kran no esotimete na nani swade hu ne time ba mu a wo monsre na wo monto aba no enfama NDC se ne be ya sa how we nyina no eto betimetwa e won kran kane mampani John Dramani Mahama ne nsem ne.
We will start a visibility study and a plan to build a new city. Accra is getting gridlocked. The time has come for us to move some parts of the government services out of Accra. Accra will continue to be the capital, but we will move parts of it outside. There's land on the Accra Plains, there's land on the other bank of Volta Lake and all that. Already we're going to have a port terminal at Mpakadan to move cargo to the northern part of the country. There's a lot of land there, and so we can move some of the ministries, agencies and departments out of the city so that we decongest Accra, because Accra has expanded to its limits. The way it is going, if we're not careful, it will be difficult to continue to manage it as a viable city. And so we'll start the plan and the design and the feasibility. I believe that this will be a project that will take maybe 20 years to fulfill, but we need to start somewhere. And so we'll start, others will come and continue from where we leave off.
Eni ayeti ye ayakane mampane John Dramani Mahama ne wono ana wo tu franka ede ama NDC amanyuko no ana de sansemu atudwa apakan GH atenase latest from the world of sports. Yeah, basisia.
DL News.
Ebusia yansama wa ha ema wa kwa bamfambra DL 106.9 FM kasafidie so ene ya wada ewia premtobre kasebo so mrewedu se agudie mu nsama ya boabo no no ebusia ye de ba ne ye de beda na wa agudie mu nso no ohun ne ekọ ene ne eba nsam na egu ye mpronso a ye de eba ne di tie se wote ena ne di ka se ye ka no ene ye de ba Ghana de ena nkrofon close de latest ene exclusives no ya boabo ne nyina no ebusia ye de eba beda enawie mi amede nsam eba no edi ameje so no eya yesu ano de hye apakan GH the blessed kinentantam so ano ebusia yensi from ne yenhye nsam na asem emfama dia yenhye ase emfam fi the senior national soccer team the Black Stars of Ghana akache na ebusia onim say June 6 and June 10th respectively no ye ne Mali and your my ye friend Central African Republic no ye 2026 World Cup qualifying games mienu a ye ne omo edibebwani na enra and a Black Stars of Ghana head coach ye friend Otwado enemy 26-man squad or the kwakobo da 2 games na ya bebo squad ne so ede wunsem pina ama na ene officially no Black Stars start campaign e wonkra na oma prepare na sa 2 games no o metumi abo edikan first game no ye be ko Mali na ye ne Mali fu akobo na no achi ne 10th no wo Ghana no ye ne Central African Republic edi abani a ye de wonsam area to anim na enra emra Otwado enemy ne squad no asamba kwa obi aka no Black Stars of Ghana captain aye friend Dedayu ebusia ne din enka squad no bi empenifo pina ena cheche omadwen edi afasa ansensam no na Mohamed Ahmed Polo former player edema Black Stars of Ghana eba ne Ghana osiakan edema Heart of Folk yepa oye legend edema timam ye friend Accra Heart of Folk na wakasa dia for Dedayu insensam no according to Mohamed Ahmed Polo no o si wiase dia o an waka no kre e de akere danfo enye se wo be defe danfo na ende wo de wano fifa no o si bebi edu no yen kan kire Dedayu bema baby wa meye ni nyina Dedayu ni eso ye de mo man Ghana no wa ye enti ono de oni coach Otwado eya adwen se ende ni wan for Dedayu din anka squad no o si Dedayu no ade bi e wa hyase bia no e wawie we pay ni deals very well e de amon man konko Ghana enti nde squad na Otwado amfa ni di anka no on taking in good faith enya fe ena ni bube fu bia we no on taking cool chop na on taking in good faith yere won some area to anim na etwa so no ena Mohamed Ahmed Polo echema o se ono de on to mean to the day you for so na chinchina chin se on retire emfanfi blasters no o se reality na ene se the day you na nkasa ehun se enough is enough waye ebi e de amama no nti bebi edu no ebe ya nkon retire na o man nja ne kwan kama na onko we ene nsema Mohammed Ahmed Poro ede atudwa ede afadeda you enwo nsensem no wa yede ama ewo dwumedie na ase na ende Stephen Appiah former captain Edema Black Stars of Ghana na Stephen Appiah so futu semi Edema Black Stars of Ghana head coach Otuado futu semi na anything o si baby edu no Otuado emfa ne nan ensifem non take full charge of the Black Stars on one take any decision or take decision na enya final onya boss mo bi nkyere ne nia onye enti futu semi Stephen Appiah edi ama Otuado no na otwa ne nsem so no na o si obetu authorities handle Blasters no betu omofo se omuhu kwan ombefa so eyi senior players no e dey fi Blasters no se bia senior player bi Blasters no omuhu se bebia edu no ne mmone mo no enwuhia emfama Blasters ni bi ma omunye no obuo ene nidie kwan so momo mforso player ne chencha chese yan na mmone mo no enso ani enti retire FFP national team o se senior players ni bebire kwan ya fa so eyi omo e dey fi Blasters no no omani nji enhu ya no eda so Mukumemu, we ene nsema Stephen Appiah, edi atudwa, yedi amao, Neil Armstrong Motagbe, head of relations and strategy, edi Emma Ghana Football Association. Osi 2026 World Cup na yeko Mexico, USA and Canada, and we enye kasatin timbia, national project, and then on my money nyina, ena ye need us say World Cup no, ye bet me a qualify ediako, Nyokika kwedia unim nyopache, say to me qualify na Ghana for nya kwenya, remu kwaye adwuma enye sika edebe boa omunchi ewo Ghana ntisa ena Neil Armstrong Motagbe pa kire wonsam ede amao na yenwramu tew ewo crab issues there bobo kwa friend Drinsasi unim se CAF Confederation Cup no omo bomo mode ye pa na omo goalkeeper friend Solomon Agbesi no ono na bobo kwa ye friend Drinsasi goalkeeper omayin as best goalkeeper ewo CAF Confederation Cup no ma ye de wonsam ede amao na ochna Hearts of Folk ene bobo kwefe Nations FC Ghana Premier League game bakwa omude babwani Kennedy Boachi ansa communications and brand manager the Nations FC o se kwambia na ochira ombefa nkudimidie no ede atiatima ye friend Heart of Folk ere wonsam ede ema na tew nkrofon close no endra UEFA Conference League no final no ebusia etodwa bobo kwa friend Olympiacos Fiorentina mekaba ku tew o mantumi ante abrante friend Ayu Kabi ene she sago ntime no ka say de bobo ku a ye friend Olympiacos o mu fi Greece no o mo no magi this season Conference League na ediesium na so na we o sem massive bobo ku friend Fiorentina ne say last season o mo ball final elusu to West Ham. And this season so Omasabo final elusu to Bobokwa ye friend Olympiacos ayare was back to back final and ometumi elusu ye de won some edi amount na meno ka say de aka to na bro na Thiago Motta sign a contract as a new manager edi amabobokwa ye friend Juventus ye de won some edi ma ebusuam yenyina we so ne yemfa agudie mu nsem ne ensi nyame aduma adwumere bebre na akama ye de ebabeda me amede agudie mu nsem ne de ba no edi ameje so no eya Yesu ano de hye apakanjich the Blessed King Okogyeabour take over na praprechire ne yansore so
enti ebusunya ye de nsem no nyina ebesi ewa ha champion Kofi Tela de ko Facebook no eso ana kenkanfo mienu ya jebra be kenkan ye ede emawo a edi a meje so eye gangster cat ya meeting kura Okogyeabour Ocran
Nhyiraba Kwadwo Sammy bi
yadamu nyina se awie yi ama mo nyina mo enitie